Hi, welcome to Mark and Amber's Kitchen. I'm Amber.
And I'm Mark.
Today we're just going to run you through a process of making some pancakes from scratch.
And there's no Bisquick here.
No Bisquick. Welcome back.
And here we are with pancake making 101. The recipe's real easy. 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of milk, 2 eggs.
Farm fresh eggs if you have it.
Of course. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Notice there are a lot of 2s. 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
And just for the record, this is where his and I recipe differs. I don't use baking soda. I've only ever used baking powder.
1/4 cup of oil. Just a smidge of salt and cinnamon. And sugar to taste.
And some vanilla.
And some vanilla to taste, just a splash. So, doesn't really matter what you put in first. Throw it all in a bowl and mix it up.
One of the good thing about this recipe is, well, usually you'll have the ingredients. At least in this house, we like to keep our basic staples: flour, sugar, seasonings, milk, eggs on hand.
We do a lot of cooking from scratch and using fresh goodies, fresh veggies.
And most of everything that we do is from scratch, actually. It's so much more economical to be able to get 50 pounds of sugar and put it in a container so that when you're using it, you don't have to lug 50 pounds of flour around, and you can just cut it out.
So, all we have to do now is mix it. You can use a spatula, you can use an electric beater thingy, but
Yeah, when you want that extra mixing without worrying about lumps and having to take a fork and smush them out and beat it up and smush it out and everything. And maybe you don't have electricity, perhaps you're living off grid. These are a little handy, and I'm sure many of you probably have them in your kitchen.
I usually use a different container. We use the glass bowl so it's easier for you to see. It does work a little bit better in the little container I use. This, and it's got the little pouring spout handy for pancakes.
But we tried to use this bowl for
video purposes.
Yes.
And we're just about done anyway.
So yeah, also using just that measuring cup, you'll be able to just use that, and you'll have one thing to only have to wash up. So if you have got water that's limited. Also, if this recipe can be done with just water, the milk actually helps it fluff out, makes it a little bit heavier of a pancake. The water will steam out, and you'll get a fluffier, more porous kind of a pancake. But you know, in a pinch, when you don't have milk and all you might have is some water, go ahead.
Amber likes hers a little bit fluffier, so I'm adding just a touch more flour to thicken it up just a hair. So depending on whether you like thin or thick pancakes, that's how you could adjust it.
And also, if you're just cooking on a campfire or you've got a wood stove, this is pretty basic and easy to be able to use with a cast iron pan.
So there we go.
Which we have, actually most of our cookware is cast iron.
The ones we use, we've got everything.
So I grew up. Okay, so here we are over here on our cast iron pan.
And I've got a little olive oil in there so the pancakes don't stick, and it's good and hot. And just put a spoonful in. You can put as much or as little as you like. You can
Usually you want about medium, so that especially if you're not used to flipping pancakes or turning things, it makes it a little bit easier. And if you have kids, I always like to make Mickey Mouse pancakes.
Oh, little faces in the pancakes?
Yes, Mickey Mouse pancakes.
You decorate them with stuff?
Yes, I love Mickey Mouse.
Oh, so you can put little ears on them.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try that next.
I'll show you my Mickey Mouse
Okay.
pancakes. Now, what you're looking for while it's cooking here on the cast iron, the surface.
The bubbles.
The surface of the pancakes right here, and hopefully you'll be able to see. But you'll start seeing bubbles forming, and when those bubbles start forming and don't immediately clear up, but actually start leaving little hollows, it's when you want to start flipping it.
And you want about a medium heat, by the way.
He likes to smash his pancakes. I like to, especially if you like fluffy, nice pancakes. Don't smash them. Let them air out. As the water and liquids are evaporating out of the pancake, it'll help it rise up and give you nice, fluffy pancakes.
You're so technical.
It's cooking.
Ah.
And, you know, one of the reasons why we wanted to do this video is I don't know how many people we've talked to, we've had friends and what have you, you know, spending the night or what have you, and they're like, oh, well, we don't have anything for breakfast. Let's go out, let's do this and that. And they don't realize, well, oh, we can't do pancakes or we can't do waffles or this and that because...
And that's done.
And that's done.
Do a Mickey Mouse one.
Okay, Mickey Mouse. And this is fun for the kids. I almost forgot. Also, I wanted to mention, when you're doing your pancakes, you can use evaporated milk in a can. You know, if that's all you have, instead of, you know, just a little bit of that with some water. And also, one of the things I like to use, and I don't like to use it very often because it's kind of gross to me, is for powdered milk. I find using baked things is much more palatable to me with powdered milk.
And you can freeze pancakes too, so if you make up a big batch, take the time to mix it all up, which is everybody's big thing, time. You know, if you're a working family.
Oh yeah, I would do that just so that I wouldn't have to, you know, I would have, oftentimes I'd have an emergency, one of those containers of the flour, but it would just be for pancakes, because some mornings I didn't want to mix anything, or when your kids get older and they're able to do it, but like maybe not want to follow a recipe or whatever, it's a lot easier to have them just put a couple cups and just the little bit of oil and the milk, and they're done and gone.
Which is pretty much what you're buying in the store anyway.
Yeah, but you know,
10 times the cost.
You know what's going in there. You don't have to worry about the different preservatives. Not nearly as much salt as otherwise.
And like I said, you can make a bunch up, freeze them, and then pop them out, nuke them for a minute, stick them in the toaster, yada yada. Just like waffles.
Just like waffles. Yeah, you know, one of the budget savers I did is, you know, my son loved waffles for breakfast in the morning. Well, that's not exactly always feasible in the morning when you've got to maybe rush off to your job, rush him off to catch the bus or take to daycare or do whatever, all the busy things that has to be done. And, you know, a lot of our food has gone instant foods, instant moods. You go to you've got the TV dinners and the Eggos. Eggos are awesome, but they're so expensive. What, like $5 for 4 Eggos in a frozen container?
Usually about $2 for 8 or 10, but still, I mean, comparatively speaking,
you know,
it's
they
expensive.
were going up and up and up. And why do that? I couldn't afford that. You know, it's much easier to have a 50-pound bag of sugar, or 50-pound bag of flour, and make different things out of that, and spend more than half the cost. So, making the waffles up ahead of time and putting them in freezer bags or wax paper, and then putting them in the freezer worked great. You know, that way I'm spending, you know, 50 cents to $1 on breakfast that's going to feed everybody. Whoops, lost battery, but had the pancake in here, so we'll do one real quick. But that was the one that I was in the process of when the camera died. Okay, so the trick to the Mickey pancake.
The part you missed when the battery died.
So this isn't my spatula, but kind of the same principle. You want to use usually probably about a full-size spatula and slowly let it go, so that way it kind of slowly form a nice little circle. And I usually, for the face part, I'll use a whole part of the a whole cup of my scoop, and then for the ears, about half your spatula, about what you did for the other. And you want to kind of go slow, whoops, so that you can get it in a single drip, and it'll go out. And that way, if it's not forming a perfect little circle, you can kind of direct the little drops.
Can you make dinosaurs next?
That was a good idea. I never thought about dinosaurs. Probably could.
Maybe I'll get creative and figure out a
like a
shape.
dinosaur Rex, you could do little horns on that, up down the spines going up the back. Silhouette of it. And specifically on these ones, you kind of want to let them go just a little bit longer, because if you don't have it a little bit stiffer when you flip it, the ears will pop off.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyways, we're hungry, and Marky Mark needs his food. So we're going to go ahead and sign off for this video. I hope you enjoyed our pancakes, and don't need to have Bisquick. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and
comment.
And leave a message.
And we'll figure out what we're going to make for dinner shortly.
Thanks for watching.